Thank you very much, Hinduman. Welcome back to the commentary desk where we're waiting for game number 3 to get underway. And as you heard Jeff say, he's predicting a TSM win. Do you think the download is complete? Do you think this one's going TSMs?
Maybe. I mean, it seems to me like they had a plan going into that. They baited the Bakasura pick, which even like, wow, I can't believe they got that comp. I think that TSM understood that, and I think AFK is going to wake up a little bit, and Cyclone's going to go back to doing nonsense.
Right, I think TSM had a lot of surprise picks there for AFK that they weren't prepared for. They did not expect Boosh to play Isis, and especially at the level that he did. The Kali pick also a curveball. No one's ever played Kali in the SPL, so I mean.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah,
since a Kali, World Championship comp, I guess.
Yeah, ever since the Witchblade nerf, she has been hurt.
Yeah, we're going to see Wingblade, Witchblades coming out now as we're apparently back into the World Championship form, but it's TSM's turn for the first pick position now as AFK. They won out of the second pick position in the first game. Can they repeat such a feat? Thanatos has not come out yet from them, was banned out in game number 1, but as we mentioned, I mean, that game to me, and I think we all agreed on this one, it's on the back of Weekend, that L. I mean, there just wasn't enough out of that Thor. He missed so many ultimates. I mean, he had some really brilliant plays. I mean, we called it out. I mean, the wall at the end of that game was absolutely disgusting, but like, the Thor ultimates are why you pick him.
I like this. I like that they banned Bakasura. They're like, all right, we tricked them once. I don't think it's going to happen again. So they take it off the table. They take Bologna as well, which I think is smart. AFK back in the second pick position. They ban Serket. I assume
it'll be Humbots.
Yeah, this is going to be Humbots.
They talked about it with me before. Actually, they say they don't want to see Gars on that character and probably going to ban it every game.
Well, I mean, why not? We saw what he did when he played this during the SPL. It was lights out.
Yeah.
It's just pure destruction. He disrupts team fights. He does a ton of damage. You can't control him. He has a teleport and a jump.
Well, it's the first pick, Sylvanus, yet again from Team SoloMid. No big surprise there. Even if he's maybe not worthy of the first pick spot, he certainly is not the kind of god you want to give up plus the carry of choice to the other side. Yeah. So with blown off the pool, likely Athena +1, maybe Anhur to go to the side of AFK. We'll see if Allied is calling for a Shibalanke. Traditionally, they would need to pick it in this position if they were going to get it, because TSM will snatch it up in their second pick position.
I wouldn't be surprised if I saw an Anhur here. Oh, actually, the Isis.
Okay, so they're going to say, Kiki, we didn't like your Ra, but we do love that Isis.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. The Ra did not.
The Ra didn't do much.
I mean, he healed a little bit. That was about it. The one kill that Kiki should have had was the Geb, and he dropped it by like 8 health, right? He just didn't have it. And from there, he just kind of spiraled down and spiraled down and spiraled down, and eventually just snipe after snipe, miss after miss, just accomplished nothing. Putting him back on his namesake character is bar none the best way to go.
And also, Isis is particularly good against Thor.
Yeah.
Thor dunks in, you pop the ultimate, his spin doesn't do that much damage, and then you kind of reset the team fight off that Thor engage.
Oh, there she is, the kitty cat. Haven't seen her much, and well, Zatman, tell us about Bastet. Yesterday, I was saying maybe we're going to see her for the solo, and you're like, people aren't liking Bastet now. Why, and why do you think we're seeing her here?
Right, a lot more early game focused in the solo and the jungle role. Thanatos Thors plus Heavy Hammer Bolognas. The Bastet cannot get her speed buff. She'll get invaded on every single time. So it looks like here they maybe TSM feels comfortable with their Bastet, and they don't think they'll get invaded on.
All right, final pick of the first round here. Option to AFK. And they have a lot of options. Most likely it's going to be the Hunter. I mean, this is what they've done almost every time. Whoa, Shibalanke making it through picks and bans. Did not expect that.
Selected.
It seems like the majority of the Hunters here, they prefer the Rama pick over the Shibalanke. I guess his ultimate, that get out of jail free card, is a lot more important than the Shibalanke teamfight ult.
Yeah, ability to join into fights from a semi-global presence with more impact than Shibalanke's ultimate that is actually global potentially. So it's... Okay, it's not pick Rama ban Shibalanke, surprisingly enough. It's they're going to ban out the Chronos.
They have Anhur.
Yeah, but it's Cyclone Spin.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
Right? I mean, like...
Oh, this could be Uller.
It could be many things.
They still have that Uller option, and I know that AFK loves pick 2, as all teams that highlight their solo laner should, because it's counter pick potential. That's what we saw from Janus. That's what we saw from Guan.
So TSM now, Guan Yu bans?
I don't know about all that.
No, you don't. Okay, Thor. They're going to take the Thor away from Weekend.
I would not have banned Weekend's Thor.
Yeah, I wouldn't have either, but maybe it's just that they don't want... There's some other kind of... They don't want the additional global presence along with that Athena and Rama. You know, they just don't want to get blown up.
I think we're going to see that Weekend Thanatos this game. I think he wants to go back to his comfort pick, something he's known for.
Thanatos against Bastet, though?
Yeah, early invade. It's all about the early invade.
That's true. I mean, if they can shut Bastet down, she is horrible.
Yeah.
She is no CC aside from a crappy slow and her cat slows, and then damage. You shut that damage down, and she is a sitting duck.
She's very, very item dependent. That god. Scaling. Okay, Nemesis.
All right. Now, Nemesis is going to blow Sylvanus up.
Traditional land pick. I mean, Nemesis usually starts showing her head in the second round of a tournament.
Actually, that's what a lot of teams did. They would leave the Sylvanus open, pick the Nemesis to blow up the Sylvanus on the first mid-harpy rotation. That's what that Nemesis pick is for.
Right. I mean, yeah, if there's one thing Sylvanus is not good at, it's peeling for himself.
Exactly.
Right.
He can't get out. It's like you either all in or you die.
Yeah, I mean, he's decent at peeling maybe for another teammate. Certainly not at the top of the Guardians there. More of a lane controller than he is a CC monster. Even with all the CC in his kit, right? It's so unreliable because you have to hit the pole to peel for another player. And here we're gonna see Kuku.
Whoa,
Haven't seen him in a while.
More than likely
Young
going to be for
Boosh.
Boosh here. Option still belongs to TSM, where they're going to go back with the
Yeesh.
Janus.
Oh.
I would have, if they wouldn't have snap picked there, I would have been looking for Sobek on the solo to set up those poles into Kukulkan. But it is Janus. I guess he can set him up nonetheless. And Fenrir is what
So who's
Cyclone
taking
is
who?
calling for the soul. It's
I think it's going to be Fenrir solo.
solo
It is,
Fenrir, yeah. Because they want to make sure, like as Zap mentioned, right? They want that Nemesis to kill the Sylvanus.
Yeah,
and
they
the
wanna
soul
kill
lane,
on rotation.
unlikely.
I think we're going to see that Zalia build come out here. Cyclone, I know, is in love with it. It involves, of course, Ninja Tabi, Oboe, Iqbal, very auto attack heavy. I don't know if we're going to see the Iqbal against the Janus. Probably wouldn't recommend that. Zalia did that yesterday, built Iqbal into physical, and he lost that lane pretty heavily.
Yeah. Another thing to note is if they can't kill that Sylvanus right away, the turnaround potential between the Sylvanus ultimate and the Kukulkan ultimate can turn that team fight around.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's one thing we haven't seen in the past in this matchup from TSM. With that Sylvanus ultimate, a couple times in the first game, Yannick would hit 3-4 members, but there just wasn't the right follow-up there for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, so maybe now, granted they had an Agni that game, not that it's necessarily very difficult to follow up big stuns with Agni bombs,
But not that 100-0 potential
right,
that
it's
Kukulkan
not,
brings.
and that's really where Boosh shines. He's a good Agni player.
Right, and his most played god in the SPL was that Poseidon.
He's
That
an excellent
100-0.
Poseidon, excellent Ra, excellent Kukulkan, right? He really values those
Exactly.
single moment burst opportunities.
All right, so remember, guys, we are going into, this is game 3, right?
Yes, yes it is.
TSM answering back cleanly. AFK looked like they were in control game 1. TSM looked like they were in control game 2. And this is kind of what happened to TSM against Fnatic, right? They won their first game, Fnatic answered back. So, I mean, if history's going to repeat, AFK should have this one.
Oh, we may see a little bit of an engagement here. Bastet going to leap away.
That's a win.
AFK looking to turn the corner, yeah.
That's a win right there. Forcing Bastet to take Pounce at level 1 instead of Razor Whip is going to ensure that she does less damage.
Yeah, it slows her down quite a bit in her clear as well. But it looks like that will be the end of the invade for the moment as we see Fenrir busting out into dance. That gentleman Fenrir being piloted by Cyclone Spin. Let's introduce your teams. Team SoloMid is the blue team, tied 1 game apiece. They're the bottom side of your minimap and the left side of your spectator UI. It'll be Divios in the soul lane as Janus. Degars will be the jungle kitty. Showing off that pounce yet again. It's the Boosh in the mid lane is Kukulkan. Ionic and Snoopy in the dual lane is Sylvanus on her. Their opponents looking for their second win of all time versus the TSM roster. It's AFK Gaming Cyclone Spin as the Fenrir, the gentleman Fenrir at that in the solo lane. He's pairing up with Weekend as the Nemesis. It's Kiki So Cheeky in the mid lane as Isis, and that's Incon and Allied in the duo as Athena and Ram.
So Bastet on the top side will not walk on a ward here, but actually she is. She's going to go back through the ward. They have her completely spotted out. So far, no one is ready to do a buff. Weekend on the bottom side looks like he might just try to solo the blue buff, which I think is a good idea. Bastet, yeah, is going to move up. They're going to counter the blue, but they're going to put themselves in a pretty awful spot here to do this.
Yeah, they can easily catch Janus here, trying to get back to lane.
All right, let's see. What is Cyclone Spin level? Cyclone Spin has not leveled anything. He is waiting for option, and that's brilliant. Divios should be dead here.
They needed the body block there.
Portal!
They needed the body block there.
Oh, the portal was so cute, and the option was not covered. Great play by Div.
Yeah, that's a really heads-up play for Divios to level up his portal, though, to get out.
We calling him Div now?
I mean, I just said it pretty quickly. Leave me alone.
Oh, Divvy.
Little baby Div.
That sounds like Scott Gandhi.
Oh, jumping in. Trouble here for Gars. Okay, good jump away.
No trouble.
I forgot that he took Pounce.
Yeah, he's level 1 Pounce.
I saw that he was still level 1. I'm like, uh-oh, this could be bad. And then, you know, pounced away. He's sitting at 200 health, though. He's definitely not safe right now.
I'm a little surprised at how much damage Isis has taken against that Kukulkan.
Yes, getting hit by the squalls, that'll do it, right? I mean, even if you don't get hit by the tornadoes, it's still fairly potent poke god. Well, at level 5 fight at the mid camps, I mean, you got an advantage on either side here?
It really depends if they can catch that Sylvanus out and rotating and not have the Kukulkan nearby for that counter initiation.
Oh, speaking of counters, counter jungling coming out as we see the speed buff on the bottom side getting taken out. Divios is sitting here with Gars. Should have an advantage in this fight given the creep wave. Divios, no, just gonna bail right out.
Yeah, Garz is gonna die here. Fenrir follow up. That's first blood. Cyclone spin going his way.
What did you call that before?
Which one?
When someone just absolutely leaves the fight?
Oh, shinging out.
Shinging out. Oh, terrible.
When in doubt, shing out.
When in doubt, shing out. You never heard that one?
No, I haven't.
Dude, that's a joke as old as Smite, man. That one, that's like a, like...
I don't like jokes, they're fun.
Yeah,
Have you
that's
never
true.
watched my stream?
Yeah, I guess not.
Bart, by the way, just proved that he watches my stream. Thanks, Bart.
Yeah, I'm a shadow sub. It doesn't show up because I asked it not to.
Bottom side, another invade coming out as ISIS going to team up with Nem here to clean up another camp. This is trouble. I mean, if you lose one camp, fine. You lose two, things start to hurt. And of course, they trade one. There's still another camp for them to take on the top side. Their back camps are still available as well. Gar's level 3 right now.
Ooh.
He's in trouble.
Pounce is down, but it's the power of the boosh there is enough to push them away. Kukulkan, you definitely don't want to get eaten up by those tornadoes. You can see Kiki getting fairly low. He's going to release some. The double slow. Yeah, that may be enough. ISIS ultimate. Will it keep him alive? Bastet going to come over the top. He's going to take at least a couple auto attacks.
He doesn't have mana.
Yeesh.
Neither have mana.
Yes.
Nope, not going to have
is
it.
going to get it, but Boosh just pulled out of position for it. 6 seconds away from mid-camp spawning.
And there's that early Snoopy rotation that he's done before previously. I'm surprised how quickly he rotates.
Boosh is getting low here. Weekend trying to answer back for their death of their mid laner. Right side, Guard's going to take the camp. Left side, Snoopy's pulling it. Ionic, Hand of the Gods available. This should be a double camp win for TSM in the early game throne here. AFK still with the lead, but it's shrinking.
Oh, Fenrir. I don't think Cyclone's going to be able to chase down Divios now. Not as the threshold comes out. They did leave Allied farming. It's shades of what we saw against Fnatic, where it was Reals farming on a Rama all alone as TSM swarmed around the mid camps. Boosh, haven't seen him factor in too heavily yet on the Kukulkan, but with the ultimate online now, they have some serious setup for this bad boy.
Yeah, the one reason why ISIS died there is because of the double slow. So I expect an early sprint 2 from ISIS as soon as she backs.
Divios finally backing now. I don't expect teleport. I don't think many people are. And yeah, he's just going to walk this one back to base. No ult available. He's going to miss an entire wave. Left side, Snoopy getting very low. Allied not taking... Oh, there he is. There he goes.
He's going to go for it raw.
Missed
No,
two.
not
That's,
enough.
yeah, third one won't. Snoopy could have stood still on that one.
Allied got had. Yes.
Bit.
Yeah, I think he was... maybe just wanted to let Snoopy live. Allied's a nice guy like
All right, so Zap, how do you feel about that? He throws the ult out, misses all 3 shots. Snoopy with no boots, no jump.
Yeah, I mean, that's maybe Allied's on tilt. He didn't have a best first game, or I mean, second game with the Shablanque, and he looks like he's tilting a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Allied, you know, an emotional player. I know we say that a lot, but definitely one of the more emotional players. Great at bouncing back, but still tilts.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of the, you know, I talked to Jeff a little bit. He said he doesn't like to see, doesn't like to, you know, maybe stream his scrims a lot, doesn't want to see how people tilt. And maybe that's a weakness that Allied has. Maybe people know how to get against him. You know, maybe they know when he's going to be frustrated and how to react to it. And it seems like Snoopy has an answer for it.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. They're putting a lot of pressure in the duel lane like they did last game, and that was a key to success for them.
Well, excuse me, it's 5 minutes in now, guys. We're a minute away from the next mid. Harpy's coming up. Gold Fury obviously is available, and well, we're getting to that point now where the Devourer's gloves are done, starting to get stacked up, and it really becomes available as an option, although ideally you have your boots kind of coming on their way at least. And now it's going to take probably a wipe, and it's Team SoloMid. I mean, Impetus seems to be on them at this next mid-camp fight. Can they find the pick with their Kukulkan and turn it into an objective? You
know, for me, it comes down to if they see Nemesis on the right side of the map, Bastet's got to be ready to throw those cats down to the Gold Fury, force into a fight he doesn't want to be in, use the Sylvanus ult, which she doesn't have, and just blow them up ASAP. TSM has the advantage at this stage of the game, even with the gold and experience difference being against them. The Bastet cats at this stage are their best tool, and we're not really seeing them being utilized.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Cyclone Spin rotate to use his huge lead in these upcoming Gold Furies, upcoming mid Harpies.
Well, speaking of leads, man, Divios going back to the... No, he's actually going to choose to stick in lane and get these creeps. Cyclone might actually go for the kill here. And remember, there are no beads from Janus. If he gets caught, he's going to take that damage. There it goes. Smart use of the ult, but he's getting picked up. And he bit a creep! He bit a creep.
They missed the Brutalize there. A rare misplay by Cyclone Spin. In the meantime, Boosh has to pick up a kill in the weekend. There's a double kill now as Boosh will also get credit for the kill in Incontinentia. This early Gold Fury may be a reality now for Team SoloMid.
It's going to be up to Kiki, realistically, to shut this one down. Ionic's going to take some damage, and we're going to see, it looks like Allied try to hold this one down against Gars. They do gesture towards Gold Fury, but it seems Boosh, who is completely out of mana, is not going to be able to go for this one. He has enough for exactly 1 Tornadoes, and after that, he is out.
Again, they're putting the focus on the duel lane. They're seeing Allied is struggling. They just want to keep him down.
That drop by Cyclone Spin, that had to hurt. Divios with a great juke. Did he get
No,
those?
what actually happened there was that Divios was still a little bit CC immune because you actually can't hit a creep with the Ragnarok. Yeah, he timed it a little bit too early and he didn't get it off.
Oh, wow. Okay, so maybe that's very unusual for Cyclone Spin.
You saw him waiting too patiently.
Yeah,
he just mistimed it by half a second.
That's it. That's him. Like, he's mind games and patience, and for him to get so aggressive there, that's very uncharacteristic.
I'm just like, can you try to help me figure out why it's Fenrir, right? You just played this matchup as Bakasura, and it didn't work out great, so you go to Fenrir. What does Fenrir bring to the table here that Bakasura wasn't against the Janus?
I mean, control, right? Baka has, I have Regurgitate, and then I am useless.
So I guess it's just that he can pick him up with the Ragnarok, pull him to that right side of the solo lane, so there's no real great portal escape.
The thing is that Bakasura's only kill potential on the Janus is using his ultimate, right? Fenrir can have that kill potential just by using his 1 and 3 cooldowns.
Yeah, the Unchained is really what separates things. It's 335 damage on a jump with a 15-second cooldown. Now, once he has the Jotun's Wrath online, we're going to take a quarter off of that. And then if he lands it on an enemy god, you reduce it by half. I mean, it's a very serious cooldown that he can abuse in teamfights. It's extra stuns, it's extra control, and it's extra movement, something that Bakasura doesn't really bring to the table.
There's that Nemesis ultimate onto Yannick. He's gonna use his ultimate though, and looks like he's bailed himself out of here. So they use quite a bit there to try to pick up the kill on Sylvanus, and now it's the Kitties starting to run them down. Nemesis trying to split it. It's Boosh. Ultimate looked to be on target, but dodged by Weekend and splits the uprights. No kills coming out of that one.
With that, Janus ult as well is going to be down, and we're going to get a rotation over from Cyclone. Now, they're going for the Gold Fury. They don't have the cats, and Yannick is very, very low, but Cyclone is not choosing the optimal path here.
Oh, Allied was so close to finding a kill there. Is unable to secure.
Eyes on Cyclone.
Does continue to pick down Yannick, who gets crushed by Cyclone with the base damage on that Fenrir. Really, really showing off there what those levels can do for this god. He's very much like a Thor in terms of physical damage burster.
Now, they should really rush this right back down. Snoopy, of course, does still have Desert Fury, but if they rush it down without that Kukulkan out, they're really not going to have a major amount of presence. It's going to be up to Cyclone to lock him out.
Gold Fury, at 50% now, continuing to get whittled down, but Reset starting to heal back up now up into the 80s. Gar's in a lot of trouble, picked up by Fenrir and sliced and diced by Weekend. Down you go, Brutalize out onto Boosh. It's going to follow him through
2 seconds.
1,
Wow.
Got him. Cyclone Spin, killing spree.
So all those things that I just said about why Fenrir, that's why.
Yeah, that's why Fenrir. Yeah, the continual re-engage as Snoopy gets stunned out by Kiki, and it looks like AFK will secure themselves a Gold Fury this time now as it gets under 50%. Yannick being zoned out, Snoopy trying to find his way in, fairly low as AFK, but down goes the Gold Fury.
And this is what AFK needed to do, right? They built the advantage for Cyclone Spin, and now, unlike last game, Cyclone Spin is actually rotating to these mid-game team fights and securing the objective for AFK.
And what this is going to do greatly is, I mean, this is where Fen shines, right? Unchained's maxed, Brutalizes max, he's going to be swinging. Now, as he starts leveling up that Seething Howl, going in for tower damage, this is going to give enough time for Nemesis to start coming online. The Iqbal is going to come out, right? Right, there it goes. Next up, Executioner or Jin's Eyes, and it's going to be up to Weekend to carry in the endgame, with Cyclone maybe going a little more bruisery as we go on, possibly an oboe still, and allowing him to just get to the backline, get those stuns off, reposition with Ragnarok. They're focusing all the damage on a Fenrir, and then out comes Nemesis.
It's a 4-level advantage for the Fenrir over the Janus, now down to 3 as Divios continues to farm up. But it's Warlock Sash, 2 apiece, Kukulkan and Janus both building into those, Bastet working towards a Transcendence.
Well, Bart, that is not a Warlock Sash.
Oh, that's a ring.
No. It will be a Warlock Sash, but that is not a Warlock Sash.
Oh, that's what I'm saying, right? They're building towards the Warlock Sash.
And that's going to take forever.
Right.
He's looking at like 22-minute timing right now on finishing that Warlock.
That's what I'm getting at here, is you have the 2 Warlock Sash being worked on, you have a Transcendence being worked on by Bastet as well. They're not going to have a power spike for quite some time, and it's really cost-efficient early game items coming out of the side of AFK, the Ick Files, the Jotun's Rafts, right? I mean, these items shine really, and they're under 2K a piece. This is maybe AFK's strongest moment they're going to have in the entire game is going to be this next 5 to 10 minutes.
Look at this guy. Look at Cyclone. This is what we expected from Bakasura. Where was the crazy Baka tower diving nonsense? I don't know what changed, but it's good to see Cyclone playing his game again. You know, putting Divios on a separate attack style, right? You look at the levels, very rarely do you see the solo laner towards the bottom, but he is literally tied with everyone on his team except for Snoopy, who just hit 11, and the Yannick, who's only 1 level behind.
The thing is, between the Janus and the Bakasura, the Janus can easily kite the Bakasura because he has 2 forms of escape. He has his portal, and he also has his threshold.
Yeah.
And Fenrir, he can jump over the threshold. He can gap close with his 3 as well. So he has 2 forms of gap close, where Baka only has 1.
Oh, he doesn't. Yeah, Divio's portaling away. He knows. He just realized, like, oh my God, I don't have beads. He will kill me instantaneously, and I think that's just going to be a kill right here.
Oh, he's going to run him down. Just bully.
That was asserting dominance right there.
Yeah, the alpha wolf.
For real though, I mean, he just walked at him. He's like, I'm just going to sprint. Forget it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I picked Janus again.
Tinkering away on our Warlock Sashes and Transcendence. Team SoloMid.
Yeah.
And if they can weather this storm, they're going to have a lot of power and a lot of mana, to take these fights. But
that's 250 stacks that they still need to get.
Yeah.
None of them are done with their items. That's 1,200, 1,200, and 1,400 for those items. And closest right now is Bastet. She's not going to have Jotuns, which means she has one good set of burst, and then she's pretty much out for the fight.
it's Weakening Curse on the side of Kiki to round out his actives. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's Incon. Incon.
Sorry, Incon. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense. I was very confused about Ice 7. Athena will be having this. So no Shell. This time it's going to be the counter heal for Sylvanus. In a bit of trouble perhaps here is Snoopy as he bails over the wall. Misses his impale there,
Rama's
which
up
allows
again.
Allied to go up in the sky. 1, 2, 3. Oh,
No.
He thought right, but Zig left, and Allied zagged.
I mean, this isn't the worst situation. Snoopy will lose some golden experience to the tower, but it's not like the Gold Fury's up, right? I mean, it's not like he needs to commit to this fight. I mean, at worst, he'll lose his tower. At best, he'll lose a wave of experience, right? Either way, he's looking all right.
Weaken.
Gars taking a lot of damage there.
Janus Portal doing a lot there. The Weakening Curse going to come out from Incon to try to keep young Divios in play, but he's going to fall back to his tower. And somehow Gars makes his way out of that one as well, going back towards the enemy tower. So
That right there was communication 100%. Divios is just like, they're not coming to you, man. Just back right now. And Gars gets out of dodge.
And one of the struggles AFK are going to have is that what happened there, they have a lot of dashes, right? And you see Gars, he jumped over a wall. That completely negates the Athena and the Nemesis chase.
yeah, both the Bastet and the Anhur are really looking to go. Oh, let's hold that thought. A Cyclone Spin. He's going to look for a kill here. But he's got the rest of TSM hot on his tail. He'll get the kill, but at what cost? Leaping away now.
I can't believe he just got away with diving a tower against 3 people and getting a kill.
Well, it was 4 until he killed one of them.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, a little bit late on the rotation, sure, but like that's the silliness that Fenrir brings to the table. In the beginning, right, everyone plays Fenrir the same way: is I'm going to level brutalize and I'm going to rush you down and do damage. And now it's like I'm just going to be a goofball and be very mobile.
Right, and one thing to note is how are they going to get Fenrir off someone when he's brutalizing?
Yeah, I mean
they have no
had nothing
RCC
there.
except for the portal.
They could have
That's it.
pulled him. They could
They
have
could have pulled him, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's super reliable.
But they just have such few options,
Yeah,
and he's really just taking over this game.
Yeah, they have. Well, no, Impale ain't going to work because he's going to be knockback immune.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I love too? Right here, Cyclone Spin doesn't go for the tower. They don't need that 500 gold. He sends the tower to do all of the work that he wanted to do. He stripped away another wave from Divios and then stole his blue buff, leaving a small creep, forcing Divios to have to deal with that. And now he's rotating back over. It's just a rough call.
Trying to make a play on the Allied here is TSM. He gets fairly low, but has to take this guy.
Ooh,
Still
ooh.
bleeding out. He will go down to Ionic from the dot there, plus the Bastet dot. Now it's Kukulkan trying to zone for his team as Gars is falling back. It's 4-6 now in favor of AFK still.
Zap, how bad does that hurt? Rama got 2 shots off, was guaranteed the third with the slow, and he dies to point.
Right, that's the most annoying thing as Ram, right? You're in the air, you're like, oh, I'm safe. Guess what? You got so many dots on you. Bastet bleed, Sylvanus ulti, and Wisp. But I would really like to see Allied use his ultimate a bit earlier. He can tell that he was the focus there. He was the one that they wanted to kill. His dash was down. They're going to all in him. If he would have ultied right away, could have got all 3 ticks off and maybe even survived.
The second those cats came out,
Exactly.
it should have been straight up into this guy, I think. I agree with you there.
I love the pillar coming out. Beautiful play coming out from Snoopy. Kiki in some trouble here. Dashing away, trying to get something done, and he will be able to escape long enough to stay alive.
Here comes Weaken.
There's the Wisps.
As he missed the
Wow, they're
Impale
chasing
now,
this down.
Weaken pretty much uncontested, running forward, driving back Team SoloMid, forcing Boost to rotate out of the mid lane as well, but nothing cooking at that Gold Fury.
And this is
Yeah.
actually one of the strengths that Bastet brings, right? That crazy amount of poke. Kiki's completely out of the fight. He would have to back here. And that's, I think, something that people forgot what Bastet is good at.
Yeah. Just whittling away at the back line.
That's why she's been a top-tier jungler in the metas that she has been, and she has some of the highest damage in the game, period.
Multiple 100% scaling spells.
In fact, all three 100%. Yeah, it's very damaging, which is why the Transcendence is such an amazing item. Right now, he has Boots and Transcendence and is sitting on 75 power.
Yeesh. And I mean, it used to be the conventional wisdom was Jotun's Wrath, first item, every assassin, ever. And now we're seeing, the play, mature a little bit here, and they're realizing that you don't necessarily always need to dive every tower with Bastet.
That cooldown's not that important sometimes to the early game, right? What's a little bit more important is kind of getting that kill potential with the Ishival and Executioner, or the Transcendence to help your scaling as you go into late game.
Yeah, send people back to base with that harass.
Yeah.
Guard's looking for it. Yeah, he's going to get it. The Hand of the Gods went off right before the shield wall. Right side, though, look at this. Cyclone finally going to take this tower down. Divios begins a rotation. Maybe it's just an escape. I'm not sure what he's looking for here.
Well, there's really nothing he could do right lane, so he's probably trying to find farm wherever he can, right? Either mid lane or hopefully, just find a good rotation.
Well, guys, let's take a listen with AFK as this Gold Fury is going to get started up with a cursed voice. Listen in.
Yeah,
what's up?
Pop it! Nice!
I'm starting to go to bait. I'm starting to go to bait. I'm just gonna bait.
Taunton 7.
Get ready.
Use the ice.
Get ready. I'm not gonna damage it too hard. I'm just baiting.
Wait for it.
Baiting.
it's Sylvanus.
Weakening. Weakening.
I'm ulting.
Want Kukulkan?
I'm on her.
Silent?
Anhur's on me really hard.
I was stunned.
Careful. I'm backing up.
Watch out. This is dash.
Should we do it or no?
Yeah.
Mm.
I'm doing it.
Careful.
Watch out, it's coming back. Watch out. I'm here with you. Watch out.
Janus ult. Janus ulti.
I'm on Janet.
I need help.
You can't.
Janus portal
I'm
to
on
back.
her.
Everybody's suffering.
I know.
Wait, he got long cooldowns. He looks dead. He's the red. That's huge beat. Huge. Nice.
Fuck. Shit.
Nice. So good. Nice. They're gonna be there soon with cats. Cats will be up.
Backing up.
Make sure they don't burn it. You gotta make sure.
Yeah.
I'll try to get there as soon as I can.
I still have decent mana. They counter warded it. I have a normal ward.
You need to get just not really.
They're on it.
I just need you to
If they're on it, you need
They're on it.
Just reset it.
What's it at? Fold.
They reset. Let's Swiss cats.
You need to hurry. Yana just won.
Do it. Yes.
Yeah?
Oh, never mind.
No.
Get back.
Hey, look. Just get Yanni's up, so we gotta get back to that.
That would've been great if I lived there, dude.
That was a nice speed. This was really nice speed.
All right, guys, it looks like we're back in here. The Gold Fury doesn't get taken, but AFK with a decent win in the team fight. Gonna keep their lead for now. 7,400 experience, 4,900 gold. Zap, you got your wish. Allied used the ult really early that time.
That's right, yeah. He needs to realize that he is the main focus of these team fights, and I think he actually has it. With that early ultimate, you see how he bought his team a lot of time, and they won the team fight.
So you could say they're noticing Allied Senpai.
Yeah, Allied Senpai.
Bart, what do you think about that?
I think that overall, Brandon, thank you very much.
Yeah.
That it is, it's a tough situation now for AFK, right? They felt the advantage there. They have the gold advantage, but they're unable to really force their will onto TSM now. Gold Fury's still up. Rama over there hunting around and looking for an opportunity to start it up again for AFK, but how well are they going to be able to zone out with this roster, right? Their frontliners are two assassins in this game.
That's why I would love to see a Midgardian male coming out to Cyclone Spin. Now, he already has some magical protection with Heart Ward, which I also love. But if he had that Midgardian, he would have a little bit more health.
What I really like to see from AFK is their communication, right? They won that fight because they called, hey, Gars has no beads.
Oh, what in the world?
That's a misclick.
Lit.
Bad finger there.
I wish we were on comms for that one.
Yeah, I think we would have heard some Fs and some S's coming out.
We saw Yannick do that before. He killed with the shockwave and then ulted after, and Bart was like, oh, he didn't call that one on comms.
Yeah, he didn't say my ultimate's down, but now...
What does he plan to do here?
He's planning to run away, and that's what he's got to do. TSM realizes they have to give this one up. It's AFK's Gold Fury, just like that.
That single attack might have just lost them this game.
Yeah, no, exactly. Sylvanus' one big defense is his CC immune off his ultimate, which he got off last team fight, which helped him survive a little bit longer.
We even talked about how does Sylvanus get out? How does he peel for himself? And the one time he's done that this game, it was the ult.
Yep.
So now he has no... Yeah, look at this. Incon's just like, kill this guy, man. He's got to be on tilt.
Boosh hits 4, it looks like there. Maybe 3 with his ultimate. It's going to be enough. Sylvanus trying to waddle his way out. Not enough just yet. Rom takes this guy just to help seal the deal there. Kiki so cheeky gets credit for that kill. But in the meantime, it's Gars. He's pressuring the towers to try to get something out of this one. He's got the tier 2 on the right side.
You know, people always want to talk about Kukulkan's weaknesses, right? And you talk about the fact that he doesn't have a lot of movement. To me, his biggest weakness, and this is almost no other character, Monopool is terrible. runs out of mana so quickly. And right there, Boosh couldn't even help defend. Luckily, Divios got over there, was able to hold that down. And with Garza's push, that wasn't actually too bad for TSM.
Yeah, that's why we see Book of Thoth so often on that god.
Right. Does he have it?
No, I think it's a Warlock Sash.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
Usually, I mean, this is like the #1 item.
Yeah, it's going to be Power Boots into Warlocks into Pen.
Yeah, usually you see Book of Thoth and Warlock Sash coupled with a Kukulkan because of his passive. More
you
mana
see him
gives
sitting
it more
at
power.
the tower, throwing wind on the ground for 40 minutes.
But we know Team SoloMid did make it through that kind of that difficult period they were talking about. They had all their stacking items, and they've got them now completed. They're starting to stack them up. They're on their way towards having their first real power spike. They're getting the pen on top of those stacking items, so they're really going to try to maximize this window that they now will have. Still down, though, by about 4,000 gold to AFK.
One thing to note is that how hard it is for them to actually kill this Sylvanus, right? Every time they killed him, it's been a bit sloppy. 2 or more get hit by Kukulkan, or he gets away because he times his ultimate and they don't time their CC chain together well. So I really think they need to clean up who they're going to kill with that Nemesis ult.
I don't know when this happened, but Kiki has a 3-level advantage over Boosh.
Wow.
Talk about improvement. Last season, even considering this matchup would have been like the subject of a Reddit joke thread, right?
Yeah.
Now, I mean, he's not only 3 levels ahead, but I mean, look at the gold difference as well. It's almost 2K.
Now it's more like a body fanfic than a Reddit thread.
Stop. There's going to be one now.
You know what you can attribute that to is actually Divios keeps coming to the mid lane, taking that farm because he can't do anything in his lane.
Yeah, he can't. Well, it's not even that he can't do anything. He literally can't stay in his lane or he'll die.
Exactly. So he's hurting his other teammates by doing that.
Snoopy enjoys a little bit of harass underneath his tier 1, is forced to give that one up. Doesn't want to get collapsed on either. You see him looking towards the jungle there. Look at our Fenrir build, though. It's a Heart Ward Amulet. As, let's talk about Garz, though. He's eating a weakened ultimate. He's starting to take a lot of damage, right? Just off the Marcus Bush's ult. Through the wall goes Garz, but weakened not done yet. Beads used by Garz to reset his cooldowns. Can weaken close this one down. In the meantime, Allied snipes the kill onto Bush. Cyclone Spin's running out of this one with the Ragnarok form active. Garz still running from weaken, and Weaken finally going to call the chase off.
That speed buff did a lot of work for him there. And strangely, we didn't really call Cyclone's name too much there.
No, not at all. He was forced out of the fight. He ate a Kukulkan Tornado and just ran away.
Oh, he's back in it now. Might have some pressure here. This, I think, is Allied's chance to maybe even start the Fire Giant. Like, bait them over there. They have the power play. They should take it.
It's 11,000 player damage, 800 for Anhur, leading all players, followed by Fenrir. So it's a nice day to be a furry animal.
I think this is exactly what we talked about in the beginning, right? It's like, we don't underrate Snoopy. We just don't talk about him. He doesn't ever make, like, these insane, like, top 5 plays. I need to make a highlight reel. Everything he just does is fundamentally brilliant. He is just pure fundamentals at all stages of the game. When we saw him before he was on the Game Changers, which eventually turned into TSM, he was a sub for Denial, and he played every single role. And probably better than the people that played him on that team.
Back when he was called Snoopy Man, not just Snoopy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I blocked that out of my memory.
He was also on the Reason Gaming squad featuring Peckies, Adonis, and hi-rez Ponpod.
The production crew.
Nope, Pom was not on that team.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. That was
Wolfie.
Talkity and Wolfie.
Wolfie and Talkity, yeah.
Why you got to do this to me?
I don't know.
You just let me have it. Ponpod was on Denial with Rushed and Pain and the French Canadians. Jeff the Swindler.
Yeah. Shout out to Canada.
Amen.
Oh, Kiki looking for a shot here. Guards and Boosh
nah.
moving forward. No, Weaken's going to try to do some damage.
Dice.
That was a little bit late.
Oh, Athena ultimate going to come in as well. They really want to commit to that one heavily.
What was that?
It's just Fire Giant now. I mean, right? They're here.
And little do they know, the blue ward in that hotspot actually just ran out as well. They just gained vision by accident.
When did Divios turn level 20?
Wait,
he was 4 levels behind Cyclone Spin.
That's just Divios.
They let him farm, I guess.
Wow.
And look at him. He has the Soul Reaver done as well. He's got some damage underneath him.
Yeah, he does. I mean,
it's going to be
he's
scurry.
got 100 stacks. Yeah, wow.
There's not really any magical defense to speak of either on the side of AFK. They have a Cloak of Concentration, I guess. They have a Heart Word. They got a Magi's and like a Wing Blade, right? Like a few like hybridized items, but no true magic defense. I mean, he's going to hurt a lot.
All right, so we got the grouping again. Ionics getting pushed out by Weaken. Weaken getting pushed out in tandem. Incon trying to play safe here. As you see, Allies just doing work. It's
55%.
Really eyes on Ionic here because he's looking for the blink.
40.
He's got the Magi's. That's huge.
Reset of the Gold Fury. Magi's down for Ionics and heal up Snoopy now.
It's a 300 damage shield right there. Not going to be enough to really lock that down. Ally continues.
Back down to 50% is the Gold Fury, now falling. Reset again. Snoopy dodges that ball. Oh, this is just so tense. The moment of clench.
Looks for the declaw, not going to get it. Incon looks to initiate here. I think I saw a Weakening Curse come out as well.
Yeah.
Spirit Ball off the mark. Weaken took a lot of damage there as well. Boosh not going to be able to hold out too much longer with that mana pool.
Yes.
Ionic's going to find the big hit, but
big play.
That ult was not on point.
Not enough. Not even enough distance to get there if they would have it over the top. There's that Nemesis ultimate into the Fenrir dunk, and it does so much damage. Ragnarok comes out. It's going to grab just the one. Gar's getting smacked around by Ally's ultimate. It does a lot of damage to him, and down he goes as Allied seals the deal with a few in-hands. Ionic, he's going to go through the portal left by Janus. On the backside, Weaken trying to chase down another, but Divios bailing out with his Kukulkan. Boosh out of mana yet again, as you mentioned, Brandon, earlier on. Those mana problems continuing to hurt him.
Yeah, and this is why you build Book of Thoth. The tornadoes cost like 150, or whirlwinds now. They're 150 mana. It's not a joke. It's really serious, and now Allied's going to get himself a free Gold Fury. I'm pretty surprised we didn't see them go right to FG.
What is Divios doing? Oh my
Weaken?
God.
Oh. Was the Soul Reaver up? Can we go back to the items real quick?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's up.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Check that out. It was ready to go. That would have killed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It probably would have killed without it.
And one thing to know in that team fight is who was the first person to die on TSM? It was Anhur. And what happened before the fight started? Athena got his beads, right? Anhur kind of mentally didn't realize that he was in the front line, and they blew him up right away.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and the smart thing from AFK there was that the second that the Athena lost her Magi's Blessing, they realized that Sylvanus was going to have his back up a bit earlier. They took the fight right to them before allowing them in Team SoloMid to get that advantage back.
Exactly.
So Cyclone and Cyclone Spin and I are on the same page. Midgardian Mail comes out. That's going to let him be the frontliner they need him to be. Incon has a much more defense than he did in the last game. They have the double frontline that they had in the previous game. If they keep this up, this one's going to be free. It's going to be up to the fact that Ionic whiffed a huge ult before, right? Dropped an entire fight. Then in that time, hit a 4-man Wrath of Terra, and then Boosh is like, I can't reach him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really been the story of the lack of follow-up again for TSM. That's where they've seemed deficient in the games that they have led, been behind in and ultimately lost in Game 1 and maybe Game 3 here as well, is that even with Ionic hitting 3-4-man ultimates at objectives, with the Sylvanus, there just isn't the right follow-up from Boosh. They're a little bit out of sync.
And that's so surprising. Usually that's the one thing that TSM
you can rely on,
never
right?
fails
You can
on.
hang your hat.
We even made like a big stink about it yesterday off their comms. It was beautiful. Oh, Snoopy.
Sibby's gonna...
He has to hit that 180 no-scope impale.
Nope,
Oh,
no.
Beads were still down.
Yeah, he'll actually just die instead.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's...
Not much to say about that.
Yeah,
There's no commentary
50's
for
done.
that.
That's a minute with no Hunter. Fire Giant is up. Tier 1 in the mid is gone. It's the Tier 2 that AFK is going to pressure. They'll take this one with ease. It's an 8,000 gold advantage, and it's a Beads 1 still down, as you mentioned.
Oh, no, he actually didn't use it. It was still down before. But,
yeah.
I mean, they can't afford him being down. Boosh is 3 levels behind. Guards, and this is the problem with Bastet. Bastet's a misnomer at this point. She is useless. 16 at 29 minutes, not acceptable.
Yeah, yeah.
Spirit gun.
Oh, into the silence, into the stun for Divios there. He's getting quite low. Sylvanus ultimate used again. No follow-up. Boosh. He's going to try for the... oh, no.
Burrs.
1, 2, 3
Boosh
for good measure.
just
Ionic's
felt
going to need to
that pain.
brutalize. That Rama plus Fenrir has been all over an ally, already firing those shots where Cyclone Spin's going to go. Gars,
no, buddy. This is not for you.
yeah, I'm not sure what exactly he expected to get done there, but...
Such a risky play by TSM. They blind ultied into the Fire Giant, not knowing what to expect, having a man down, and that man being their Hunter.
I almost expected an F6 after that one. This one looks like they're just getting frustrated. If we went to the comms, I'm sure it would be very similar to what we heard in the first game. It's like, maybe we need to ban this. I don't know if we can win this one. We should start thinking about the next game, right? Because, I mean, that's what it's coming down to.
They got Nemesis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the big difference here in this game from the other ones so far. I mean, Cyclone Spin's doing Cyclone Spin.
Ooh, they got a little Fenrir too. Look at that damage.
They got cycloned. I mean, and that happens, right? To the best of them. Every once in a while, you just drop a game to Cyclone Spin, crushing you. It's the Nemesis, right? What answer do they have for the Igfile, Rageblade, Executioner, Nemesis now?
So this right here, this is both the best play and the worst play. Because they need something. Using the cast to take that tower is a great idea, but at the same time, Gars was already dropping fights like they were on fire. In this case, he doesn't have an answer. Now he doesn't even have the cast. I mean, they were going to die in 1 second, sure, but he doesn't have any answers whatsoever.
Oh, the Elite nets his team of towers, you mentioned. A little bit more gold in their coffers. The slightest of upticks in the gold charts there, but still 10,000 separating the team, 15,000 in the experience chart, and Weekend is the bully.
Yeah, Snoopy's there. He's like, no, please. And Weekend's like, all right.
These spears still hurt.
Yeah, and one of the points to make too is Garz has been behind all game.
Yeah,
right, and his Bastet poke has not been doing what it should be doing.
Yeah, it was just
like no damage.
4-stick pounce at level 1 threw him off his game, I'm sure. Right? I mean, like,
and plus
what other answer is there?
He was the first blood, right? They dropped him pretty quickly. Divios had to escape away. That was a defensive ult right there just to save Boosh.
Oh.
That Nature's Grasp going to miss as well. Weaken stepping right into the Tornadoes to try to guarantee this. Weakening Curse going to stop Wisps. Shield Wall plus one shot.
Boosh to
Allied
fall
going to
as well.
find a double.
A triple potentially coming their way as Snoopy's trying to go toe-to-toe with Allied, who's
triple kill
not
for
having a
Allied.
tank. Yeah.
Senpai.
Garz, no, Garz, it's not for you. Again,
Allied
Garz.
quadra kill.
Do it.
Allied's looking for it. 2 shots from the sky. Third one's gonna hit. He's trying for it. He's lower.
Allied with the Penta!
Kill!
Senpai has done it again.
He's reached his final form, ladies and gentlemen.
You will notice
Look at his
the
face.
senpai.
Look at his face. Oh, what a guy. He gets the Penta to shut down Team SoloMid in game number 3. This one's going to go the way of AFK, ladies and gentlemen. On the back of a Penta kill from the Hunter. And one of the cuter players in all of this My Pro League. It's Allied.
The pop-off's got to be real here. Allied all giggles right now with a 5-player swing. Absolutely incredible third game coming out from AFK. They now lead the series 2-1.
What's really important there for me as well is that was a game where TSM was going back to their whole milk plays, right? Like just the most basic, no spiciness, just we're just going to go for our standard standby here, and they got blown up by the Nemesis Fenrir combination.
That Fenrir really took them out of the early game, allowed the Nemesis and Rom to reach late game form with a lead, and that's huge.
All in all, that was just clean. Every part of it was clean. They shut down Bastet. They made sure that Divios had to work for his farm, and to get it, he had to strip away Boosh. Boosh was on a character that he couldn't afford to miss farm on. 3 times we saw Boosh out of mana in team fights. The build didn't work out. What it came down to, the major point, though, was Ionic missed that ult, and that game just went right down.
You're absolutely right. I mean, you said it when it happened. That could very well be the play that loses the game for them. And perhaps it was. Let's take a look back at the first blood. We thought maybe it was on Bastet towards the end of that game. How good is our memory?
It's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, it's real good. Yeah, it is. It's Divios, for whatever reason, bails out of the lane.
That was the Shing, right?
And yeah,
is that what we're
he
calling
shings out, and then Cyclone Spin comes over the top and doesn't pick us back on the guards.
That was the worst position, too, because he had option to pounce back, and if he pounced back, it was in the Nemesis.
Still dead, yeah.
There was nowhere
They covered
to go.
the option, if you will.
Yeah, the option was completely covered.
All right, well, let's take it over to Hindu Man, who's standing with Lassus over on the other side of the studio. Guys, how did that one turn out in favor of AFK?
Thank you, Barton. As you said, Lass is alongside me here. 2-1 to AFK Gaming after a fantastic performance from them. We saw Kukulkan and Fenrir. This tournament, for me, Lass, is all a bit about different gods being picked that we don't usually see.
Yeah, just as I mentioned earlier, man, just you never know what these guys are going to pull out. And then Cyclone pulling out the Fenrir. Man, that's awesome.
He played so well on it as well on circumstances. Good rotations from him as well to the Harpies at the start of the game. Picked up that kill, that 4v1 in the beginning of the game.
Oh, I was actually sitting there laughing, man. I'm just like, how does this kid do this thing, man? Amazing.
I know we're talking about this, but let's be honest. We just saw a pentakill on your screens right now. Let's look through as Allied begins his journey from first kill all the way through. You can see the first one being dropped down by Sylvanus, then just turns his attention to Boost. That was all in Cod's work for the most part. His trade with Snoopy, and that big crit for 410 was really important there for him as well. He can roll away into the silence, picks up the quadra, and then to the snipes in the sky. Well, he's missed a lot this tournament, but that one allowed him to secure it and bring it down for the official pentakill.
You know, that's unbelievable challenger level plays right there.
Would Zap be able to do that, do you reckon?
You know, I just hope Zatman Senpai can reach that level someday, but soon.
I mean, let's talk about Allied for a moment. Honestly, with how that game went, I mean, honestly, people be saying Allied, not necessarily the strongest hunter overall, so a bit underrated in my opinion of how, Allied is.
Oh, absolutely. I think he's very underrated, but there is one thing to note about Allied, and I'm afraid to say it, but, you get him until early game, he's one of those guys who goes quiet, and he needs to stay focused.
Well, he stayed focused in that game, and that's why we saw them go on to victory. Let's have a little look at the map control, though. It should be coming on your screens right about now. We can have a look at the twos and throws of this one. 3 Gold Furies to AFK Gaming, and the mid Harpies were very, very even between these two teams, though, lasses. It was all about the Gold Furies, really.
Oh, absolutely. All about the Gold Furies, and with that big gold boost and EXP boost, it just kind of set the tone.
And I think the fights around the Gold Furies that really set him up. I don't feel like Bush had a few issues trying to land that spirit, that ultimate with Kukulkan. But then once that ultimate was on cooldown, it felt like the boys reinitiated very well, income with some very big taunts around those Gold Fury pits that set him up for it.
No, yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, as a Kukulkan pick, you know, I can't say the dang name, so
it's all right.
you know, the ulti just takes so long to get there. Even if you are set up for it, a lot of people know how to adapt to it now. And unfortunately, I just don't think it's the strongest pick as it used to be.
Yeah, it seems to be a bit of an issue for them in that one. Now, with the tables as they stand right now with TSM versus AFK 2-1 up, a lot of people did not expect this one, honestly. A lot of people did not expect this to be the case. But now that it's 2-1 up, we're going into game 4. Where's your money line for that one?
I'm going to have to go with my boys at AFK Gaming. You know, once they get momentum, they're just happy guys and they stay really focused.
Well, they are very focused right now. I enjoyed that when you could hear the screams from across the studio after that game. MVP for the game, though, however, did go once again to Cyclone Spin. Even though we did see Ally get that pentakill, Cyclone Spin on that Fenrir 6, 0, and 8. And he made such a big impact in this game, lasses.
He really did. And he's, you know, like I said, he's just an incredible player. He predicts what they're going to do, closes the gap, and is always right there to clean up.
It's really worrying because all these young solo laners from North America, Devios and Cyclone Spin, you know, it seems like solo lane's all about these like youngsters that just have no fear. They just go in, they do the stuff, and like the old guard, so to speak. If you're too old, it feels like, oh, you're gonna have to be careful now.
Speaking of old, I know how it feels.
Join the club. Join the club, buddy. But yeah, you can see Cyclone spin some of his plays here as well around this Gold Fury pit, his engagements, and quite happily to go to the back line just looking. And this was really good where he just sets up Ally. Ally, listen, you've missed your snipes all game. I'll set you up for all 3.
Let me help you out a little, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems
and that's actually one thing about Fenrir. A lot of people, they just depend on the ability damage, the brutalize. Well, now people are going in for the auto attack builds, maintaining like the damage constantly.
Yeah, the lifesteal from the build is just so good, especially against the Janus lane, because you can just take the burst and then heal it all the way back up again, and they continue putting the sustain on as well. So your favourites at AFK going into this one as well. Do you think they'll do anything different? Do you reckon TSM though, will they go for the first pick option or the second this time round?
See, I still think they'll stick with the first pick. I know they really value the Sylvanus, and Sylvanus, in my opinion, is still the best, you know, guardian in the game.
But well, Sylvanus has been picked up multiple times. I mean, we saw a little bit of a misplay from Ionic in that one. Yeah. It was just where he blinked. He went to blink over the wall, but he just caught the wall. You can't actually see that. We were hanging out with him.
Yeah, it was really rough. It really was. You know, that blink and that ulti, you know, kind of almost gave away the gold. Actually, it did give away the Gold Fury. I'm sorry.
In the end.
Yes.
It's just one of those things that do happen now and again. But like you said, Sylvanus is still very, very strong. You can see the players there. They had a quick refresher. And hands on head, not in disappointment. Like, oh my God, we're looking good today.
Yeah.
All turn them along.
They look very eager to play.
They do look eager to play. Nice drop. Nice drop. I like that one.
Thank you. Thank you.
And talk to me about AFK anyway. You are scrim partners with these guys. You scrim them very, very regularly, and I know you're like, in your heart, deep down, you want them to win, but you're an honest person. You be straight up about it.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. I actually do like both teams.
Of course you do.
But as I said, and you said, these guys are scrim partners. It's giving us a little bit of clarity on the situation, saying, hey, we're not as bad as we thought.
That's the main thing. And with that, we're going to be handing it over to the casters again as the game 4 is being set up. 2-1 to AFK Gaming. Can they close out the shop, or will TSM bring it back once more? Over to you, Bart.